I want to know what the hell is going on.
3, 2, 1. Man, and when I opened my book, it was on the wrong page, too. Can nothing go right today? Hi, everybody. Welcome to Screen Share and Chill. I'm Kelly.
I'm Keith.
I'm Jamie.
We're ostensibly a podcast about movies.
Kelly's having a very good, very awful, no good, awful, bad day. I don't remember how that book title goes, but something like that.
Yeah, it's been a series of unfortunate fucking events because my computer died, and then I found out that a bunch of other random electronic equipment that I have as backups were not working the way they should. The old NASA adage of 1 is none, 2 is 1. I'm kind of at that now because I had 3, and I'm down to like 1.5 workable. Listener, if you were seeing this weird setup that I'm recording in, you would laugh because it's just cords everywhere.
Why don't you just explain it real quick, like how much bullshit you have to make this work today? You have like a spaceship station.
I have my notepad in front of me with my notes, of course, but then to my right, I have my laptop that is recording what I'm saying, but cannot hear anybody else. So it's just me talking to the computer. Then I have monitor 1 behind that, which is disabled. Monitor 2, which is behind that, up on a shelf that is for my other computer, that just to play the movie that we're going to watch later today. That it cannot. I have no microphone attached to it. I have no keyboard attached to it. I'm using the virtual keyboard to navigate to where we're going to watch the movie at. On the left side of my my desk is a bunch of like my main monitor, which is not working anymore because my main computer is down. I have 3 or 4 cords just strapped across my desk. Like if I got up too quickly and too excitedly, I might just completely destroy the entire podcast right here and now. So,
and how are we hearing you?
Oh, you're hearing me through my phone. All right, now I'm recording. I'm recording on my other device, but Jamie and Keith are getting to listen to me on my little rinky-dink phone sitting on the desk in front of me, and I have my studio cans, my expensive headphones plugged into my phone, so I can hear you guys clear as day. Well, as clear as the Wi-Fi will allow, because then, of course, none of these are like wired to the internet too. So this is all done wirelessly. So, yay! Yeah, it's a great time. I'm in a great mood, and it's going to be a wonderful time talking about some quality movies today.
Well, obviously, we're here to talk about movies, as you can tell, dear listeners.
Yes.
So,
and this edit coming this week is going to be woo doggy. It's going to be a lot of fun trying to edit this on a.
Are you professional or not?
Yes, I am.
let's see what he comes up with, folks.
So anyways, we are at the end of we're at the middle of our 90s or 2000s romance. That's what we're doing. Not 90s
we were
anymore.
You really keep trying to skip me.
Yeah, you keep trying to skip Jamie. We're jumping all around with our...
I'm trying to skip who? Is there...
Yeah, exactly.
Keith, did you hear somebody... I'm sorry. I'm just kidding.
I know where you live, Cal. I know where you live.
Yeah, go. I might not be here. I'll be running around town with a tin cup going, PC parts, please, PC parts. Yeah, so anyways, we're doing Keith's romance pick. And Keith, as the house aficionado of romance, has picked...
4:30 movie by Kevin Smith.
Yes, Kevin Smith. Always known for his romances.
Well, as I say, you're free to bend these categories. You can't break them, but you can bend them to almost the snapping point. And it is a movie about young love and first dates, so it counts 100%. And I just wanted to watch a stupid Kevin Smith movie. So
It does
give
count.
you shit, but it definitely is a romance movie. It's a romance comedy. Coming of age story. The romance isn't like it's the driving force of the movie, but it's not like, the meat of the scenes is not them falling in love and kissing and then having a miscommunication and reconnecting. That's not what this movie is about. So tell us what it is about.
Well, it's about a character that is ostensibly Kevin Smith. It's autobiographical. I believe his name is Brian in the movie. But it's about him asking the girl he really likes from high school on their first date, which is to the 4:30 movie. And him and his friends go to the theater at like noon to watch a couple of matinees before that, because obviously, as a young man, Kevin Smith was very into movies, very, very much a man after my own heart. And shenanigans happen.
From American Movie.
Honestly, he's like it's like Mark from American Movie is his Wario. So I like how you can kind of think about it. So that's kind of how that
is a
feels.
good way to put it. The meth riddled version of Kevin Smith.
The evil bad Kevin Smith. Yeah, it's fucking Mark from American.
Yeah, he wouldn't have to worry
Movie.
about having a heart attack due to weight, but he'd have to worry about having a heart attack due to all the speed and drugs and
alcohol abuse and liver shutting down.
I am kind of surprised, Keith. Like, knowing you as long as I have and knowing your interest, I am kind of surprised that you share so much in common with these filmmakers. And you've never been interested in making films yourself, or did you? And you decided to go a different route?
Yeah, I mean, I have. It's just that's one of the things that I guess foolishly, because everything else that I've done, I've been able to touch and grasp, like making music and making art and stuff. But it's just one of the things that felt so outside of like, well, there's no way for me to kick this in. But I've never forced myself to sit down and write or finish a script. I've started one and fell off, and it's just. It's one of those things like, oh, there's so much to do in life and you want to do everything and you got to kind of pick and choose. So
that's weird because I'm not trying to like pat you on the back too much. I don't want you to get too big of a head, but you're a pretty accomplished artist in a bunch of different mediums. And it seems like that's weird that you would go, well, I can help write a full-length novel. I can do all these different graphic design things. I can do all these comic books. I can make music. I can do all these things. But making a movie is a bridge too far.
I made a couple of cam short films in high school, and that was that. Like, they were for school projects, and they were okay, but nothing to write home about.
He doesn't want to be known as the ultimate Renaissance man. He wants to be known as almost a Renaissance man.
Yeah. He has to keep one little area of insecurity so that he keeps his street cred. So when the woman says, "So why didn't you ever make a movie?" he can go, "Oh, I wasn't quite sure if anybody would really appreciate it. Oh, you sweet troubled man. Here, let me caress your temples."
It's his Achilles heel. Every hero has to have their Achilles heel.
And you know what? It's never too late, right? What they say, Anthony Bourdain didn't start till his like 50s or late 40s or something. So
shit, Uncle Bill was producing a movie in his 80s.
Yeah, that's true.
Get in the car. Find Jesus or whatever the fuck he's saying.
And then he'd stop and go,
what the fuck are we doing here? This movie sucks.
It's okay.
That's right. It's okay.
So we are done talking about that movie. We are talking about Kevin Smith's The 4:30.
May 25th, 1986. Today is a big day. Last summer, I was too scared to ask out Melody Barnegat, the raddest woman I ever met. But this morning, I invited her to the movies, and she said, "Okay." Seriously. Hold on one second. I'll see you at the 4:30 movie, Melody Barnegat.
I'll see you at the 4:30 movie.
What? Yes.
Well, Billy Idol, when's the white wedding?
I've been thinking about asking Melody out all year. We made out in her pool last summer.
One time, with your shirt on.
And you wonder why you don't get laid.
I don't get laid because I'm Catholic. We'll save seats, you get snacks?
You can't give them cutsies when they get back. I'll tell my dad.
I don't care what you tell your dad, little kid.
Dad, he showed me his privates.
You did what?
I
You disgust me! Get up! You Three Stooges are banned for life!
So much drama. I thought we're supposed to be seeing a comedy.
Oh my God! Hoorah! What in the damn hell? What about me? Jesus Christ!
Most people come to movies to escape their lives, but people like you come here because movies make life make sense.
You're the coolest girl I ever met, and all I want to do is watch movies with you.
Is that so? Mom? What the hell are you doing sneaking into R-rated movies? You're in trouble, Missy.
I'm terrified by what's about to happen.
What do you want to do?
Have sex and get pregnant. That'll show her.
If that's what you need.
Remember Rocky IV?
Yeah.
When he just like punched him so hard.
Yeah.
Remember that?
It's the climax.
He climaxed?
It was a fully like independent endeavor of his. Like any theaters that it went to, he put them there and hustled to get them there. This was not
Because how much did it make in the box office?
Oh my goodness! The budget
Fitty.
was
Tree Fitty.
yeah, pretty much. The budget was $3 million, and the box office return was $2,389. However, it's one of those things where he says it was
enjoying this way too much.
Yeah, I mean that's embarrassing, but also it's one of those things where he's like he knew and expected this to not make money. He wanted to make this movie. It's kind of like making Clerks again, but being completely unsuccessful. I guess is kind of
yeah. He's like, let me show you about my early romance days, and the world was like, okay, whatever.
Nobody cares.
We don't give a fuck about that, man.
I mean, it has a 73% positive reviews on Rotten Tomatoes.
Kevin Smith getting those bot farms working overtime for him.
Yeah, there you go.
Strikes me as the kind of guy that would use a bot farm.
I mean,
but yeah, not a lot of people see this, and it's not. We'll get into it. It's obviously not the best Kevin Smith movie, but it is a Kevin Smith movie, and if you enjoy the films of Kevin Smith, there's probably something here at least for you to chuckle and get a laugh at. Abysmal box office, but it's not like it was a wide release or anything. I think it did start to make a little bit of money on rentals and digital streaming and stuff, but this was like a self/crowd-funded movie that didn't need to make any money. So all right, well, 4:30 movie, here we go. Let's talk about the good. I want to hear from Kelly first.
Oh, the first good definitely was Bear McCreary. Bear McCreary is the composer for this movie.
Right?
Out of
crazy.
nowhere.
Yeah.
The composer that is behind Battlestar Galactica, the reimagining. He did Black Sails, The Walking Dead, like big name TV shows, big name movies. Like as a soundtrack aficionado, avid listeners may have heard me bring him up before because Bear McCreary is probably my favorite current contemporary composer. Like John Williams, I guess you could, I mean, he's still alive, so I guess he's contemporary, but I consider him more of like the 80s and 90s kind of composer. Whereas anything from the 2000s and beyond that's been created, Bear McCreary is probably the best commercial composer. And he did this little rinky-dink romance movie for Kevin Smith, like almost like a pseudo vanity project. And he is you got the composer from Walking Dead and Battlestar Galactica to do your kid. Yeah. I'm going to the movies. Like God bless. And I think he did a great job. Like if I hadn't noticed it, nobody probably would have even thought twice about it because it was a very light, vaporware, synth heavy, what you would expect, like a Stranger Things type soundtrack, but without all the scary
and it's
bits.
Very subdued too. Yeah. It's like it does that thing that soundtracks do where it's like you don't really notice it, but you know that it's there, that kind of thing.
Bear McCreary is the person that I heard that quote from that said, a good soundtrack gets out of the way. A good soundtrack, you don't even notice it happening.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then he ends up writing some of the most bombastic soundtracks I've ever fucking heard in my life. So go for it.
My favorite thing that he's done, I really like The Walking Dead. That's a good theme song. But I showed you, I believe, that Child's Play remake theme where he uses all children's toys to make it with. He's so
big in
good.
that. Whenever he does any kind of theme project, like he did the Da Vinci TV show. I forget what it was called, but it was based on Leonardo da Vinci.
The Da Vinci Code?
No, it was a TV show based on Leonardo da Vinci, not the Da Vinci Code, the Masons and the year 2000. No, this was like based on Leonardo da Vinci himself. And he wrote this theme for it that is able to be inverted completely, so you can play it forwards or backwards, because he figured that the duality of all of the balance of all of Da Vinci's inventions showed like a symmetry to it. So he wanted all of the music that he wrote for the show to be completely symmetrical, but using instruments of the time. He's so creative. I mean, that's not like beyond the pale as far as creativeness goes, but I just love it when somebody that's doing an artistic project takes that much time and effort to bake in themes that the audience will probably never, ever understand how deep this pie is baked, but it was made with love for you, and Bear McCreary is one of the best bakers out there as far as I'm concerned.
My first good is just, it opens with his phone call to the girl, right? And it nails that anxiety and that relief of when someone says yes, and he like puts down the phone, and he's like, while he's talking and feeling stupid, he's like banging it against his head, and then once he hangs up, he's like jumping up and down and doing a little single fist pump, and it just kind of nails that young, exuberant, crush, young love feeling. Like you know, we've all felt that 100%, and it's conveyed with like pure honesty, I feel.
Yeah, he does a good job of getting the vibe of whatever he's going for pretty well. And I mean, it's not just comedy too, because anybody that's seen Chasing Amy knows that he gets those heartfelt, deep conversations really, really well too, in some of his work. So I could feel the teenager vibe, that it felt like we're teenagers ready to ask the cute girl out before we go to the mall or the TV. He hasn't lost that. Many people lose, sight of that, and he can still call that back up clearly. Anytime you see an interview with the guy, he looks like he's just a 16-year-old that's in the body of an old man. Yeah. And God bless. If we could all be so lucky, that's my goal in life, is to die in old age with a bunch of toys around me and everybody going, right. Wait, he was that old? What about you, Jamie?
My first good is that I finally figured out where the whole pork chops and applesauce thing came from that my family's done my whole life. So that was good.
Oh, that's a classic. We do that. We do that down here.
We've done it my whole life. I just didn't know that it came from the Brady Bunch. Now I do.
I still don't.
That was the first good.
Yeah. I mean, I technically know where it came from, but if somebody were to ask me tomorrow, if somebody were to reference that tomorrow, it would just fly right over my head.
Have you ever had
have
that,
no memory?
Kelly?
I grew up. Oh yeah, my mom was weird that she always had applesauce with every meal. So yeah, pork chops with applesauce was. I mean, whenever we would have pork chops, there would always be applesauce there. So
like lasagna and applesauce. Like, what are you saying?
Every meal, my mother. It was one of those weird tics about hers that she'd always have a little saucer of applesauce for herself. So of course I could have some too if I wanted, but like there was applesauce with almost every single meal. Maybe she wouldn't bust it out for like pizza, but anything that she made, there would be a little saucer of applesauce for her. I don't know. I wish she were still here so I could ask her.
She really liked applesauce.
Yeah.
No, I'm crying.
I think she told me something along the lines of when she was a little girl, she loved applesauce, and her parents wouldn't let her have it as much as she wanted to. So when she became an adult, she's like, I'm having applesauce with every fucking meal. Well, she wouldn't say fucking.
Yeah.
That's determination.
Yeah.
You're adult and you can do what you want, and that's what she decided to use her adult free will on.
And every once in a while, to this day, I go have a little saucer. I'll just sit here and eat a little bowl of applesauce. So,
all right, look, enough about your dead mom. We all have dead parents here. You're not special, okay?
We're all orphans.
The difference is mine's sitting in the room with me right now, and she's very disappointed with you, Keith. But go ahead.
All right, yeah. Things are swirling around your head. We know. My second note just says hands across my dick because they had the whole hands across America thing going on, and there was one of them just made that comment about that. And that's one of those Kevin Smith things. I just wrote it down, and it's just sitting there like a glowing, line of text in my notes. It just says hands across my dick.
You say Kevin Smith thing, but like Kevin Smith is good on like he probably just heard one of his stoner friends say that.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I know I could be in a room with somebody and then we see a TV report about hands across America, and I can hear in the background hands across my dick.
Yeah, exactly. And that's another, like, you've been there, those people, but it's very funny to me, so I had to write it down.
I mean, shit, part of the reason why Kevin Smith is famous to this day is because he watched Jason Mewes, and he's like, somebody's got to point a camera at you. I don't know what we do, but somebody's got to point a camera at Jason Mewes, and he has made millions of dollars off of that, so...
all of the little like tongue-in-cheek like predictions about the future in this movie
that's one of mine.
Pretty great. Like it's like here's your movie bacon for it's gonna make your heart healthy. Like you need to get healthy and eat your movie bacon. And this is the first movie he made after he had his like heart attack and had to go on a non-meat diet or whatever.
Yeah. The absurdity of old-timey advice of like smoke 2 cigarettes and call me in the morning if you're having trouble breathing.
And then at some point they're like, well Bill Cosby will never do anything wrong.
He's amazing.
Did you know?
And they even take like
there's
that half a beat to like look at the camera, like, mm-hmm.
Did you know that
every
there's
time.
an episode of The Cosbys? I just found this out the other day. There's an episode of The Cosbys that they pulled from streaming services because the B plot is that Bill Cosby makes this 5-alarm chili and he puts something into it that makes all the ladies drowsy and horny.
Oh, okay. Well,
I swear to
wow.
God, it is a Cosby, the TV sitcom, The Cosbys, the family romping adventure, had Bill Cosby drugging the neighborhood women with his chili. And it's on the nose that they pulled. If you try to go watch the episode right now, it's not available on normal streaming.
Right. It's they always tell on themselves. Another one was like, I think it was Return of the Jedi had just left theaters and they're talking about it. And the guy's like, Star Wars is over and we'll never see
What are
that
they going
again.
to do? Make what happened before all this?
Right. And so just that kind of stuff is peppered throughout the movie. And that's cute to me. Like all those little observances.
It might be aging us or aging myself when I say this, but I do enjoy when we can go back and get these little tiny snippets of what it was like in a different time. For example, going to a doubleheader at the movies. When was the last time you did that with a group of friends? I mean, I remember Culture recently did the whole thing with Barbenheimer or whatever, where you went to see Oppenheimer and Barbie at the same time. And that was like a big cultural event because they were so very separate movies and different movies that made that so cool. But back in the day, that was just a Saturday thing. You go to the movies at like 3:00 in the afternoon, you check out the afternoon show, you try to sneak into the second movie so that you can catch 2 movies for the price of 1.
They make it so easy to do these days because they only have the one ticket taker instead of at each door like they used to.
Oh, and those ticket takers don't give a fuck about what you're doing.
No, right.
Even if you ask them, they don't care.
But I mean, it's been decades since I did like a double feature like that. The closest thing that I did to that was before, I guess it was maybe a waste of effort to do it, but before Rise of Skywalker came out, me and a couple of friends got together the night before we were going to see it, and we watched all of Star Wars up to that point, like in a row from 11 o'clock in the morning to like 4 o'clock in the morning. And it was fun. It was a good experience. And then we went and watched Rise of Skywalker, and it was like, well, I was like, that was okay. And they were like, that was all right.
Boo this man. Boo this man. No, it just reminded me of like even back in the day where we had what they call like a third space. You know, it's not your work, it's not your church, it's not your family. This is where you go, where you're hanging out with people, where you run into your peers. And it seems like so many of these movies are really hitting on the nostalgia of the missing third place for us. And we really don't have it any. I mean, it's been supplanted by internet forums. And I mean, I call it internet forums, like social media. And I don't know how much I missed, because you would go to this movie and then after the movie, you would hang out outside the movie and finish your pop. Maybe somebody, if you had one of your group that's smoking a cigarette, you go outside and smoke a cigarette with them while you're talking about the movie. And then a lot of times you would go out to coffee afterwards and you would get like a piece of pie and a cup of coffee and talk about the movie a little bit more. And then maybe you'd run into friends, maybe at the theater or at the Denny's that you went to, or I don't know. It was a completely different experience. Seeing a movie in this kind of way the movie was kind of secondary. Nobody really gave a shit about the movie a lot of times. It was going to the movies, being at the movies, leaving the movies, discussing the movie with friends, i.e. kind of what we're doing here. I guess part of the reason for this podcast is to simulate that third space, whether it's, and it's just the three of us sitting here talking right now, but every listener that's on the other side is experimenting kind of like being a passive person in that, you know, in that third space. All right, I got a couple of goods. I put down, at first I put down the note Nun Panic, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Thank God I wrote another note that said Sister Sugar Walls.
Yeah.
So when these kids go to the movie, they're seeing these fake trailers for fake movies, and one of them is I don't remember if that was the name, but I remember
that was the name,
Sister Sugar Walls or Sugar Walls. Yeah. I don't know which way, but it was a nun that basically is fighting crime, and she's acting all tough and street.
And she's a prostitute, isn't she?
Oh yes,
yeah,
yes,
that's how she kills.
Yes,
that's how she.
Yes. It was.
That's how she gets her victims. Yeah.
Hence the Sugar Walls.
She is unlike any nun you've ever met, and she's got a secret.
How come the nuns were never secret hookers when we were in school?
Let's see what's under that wig.
Oh, hell no!
say a prayer for Sister Sugar Walls.
Well, we're definitely seeing that.
That was one of the moments where I was grinning from ear to ear and giggling at the TV. The idea of a nun turning into a prostitute so she can bang criminals and then shoot them afterwards.
Murder them.
How many of the 10 Commandments are you breaking, sister?
And it's like total exploitation film, you know, like 1,000%.
Yeah, she's wearing a nun habit from the shoulders up, but from the waist down, it's like bikini, pretty much. So,
and that was Kevin Smith's daughter, and Jason Mewes was the first John that tries to pick her up.
Yeah,
and kills.
So creepy.
I remember at the time that I commented about Jason Mewes. And I don't know if one of you said something along the lines of, imagine how awkward that is to basically...
That was me.
You have your best friend trying to hire your daughter on screen to have sex.
Yeah.
And then I commented that, I guess of anybody that I would feel comfortable with, I guess Jason would be one of the few guys, Jay, like my best friend from high school. I'm not worried that he's actually going to fuck my daughter on screen. So,
yeah. Lots of Kevin Smith era cameos show up in this. Who we got? Do we have them listed? We have Ken Jeong playing the movie theater manager. He's kind of funny in this. Justin Long, Jason Mewes, obviously.
Jason. What's the other Jason?
Jason Lee. Yeah. Yeah. I'm surprised that Affleck didn't show up, you know, because they're pretty close friends. Molly Shannon, I believe, plays.
And they got the guy that played Ted Mosby in How I Met Your Mother to play the main character. They just put a mullet on him.
Yep.
It's not really, but he does look exactly like I posted the picture.
Dietrich Bader, Jason Biggs, Rachel Dratch, Logic, Kate Miucci, Sam Richardson, so many names.
Number. Yeah, that show up.
Brian O'Halloran.
Yeah,
from Clerks.
Dante.
I'm surprised we didn't see Randall, and but then again, Randall took a break.
Yeah, did we see Randall? Maybe
yes,
we did. Yeah,
Randall was in there too.
Yeah, he played something.
I know
was somebody's dad.
It seems like he's not as on the tip of doing all the Kevin Smith movies as much as everybody else is. So
sure,
it's nice to see him.
Yeah, that's literally his title or his credit is just dad. Jeff Anderson, dad.
Yep. I really appreciated the guy of all the characters. The one that I liked the best, that I found the most entertaining, I guess, to watch would be the Bells, I guess was his name.
Belly?
Yeah, he's called different things throughout the movie, and on the credits they called him Bells or Belly or I don't remember.
But the nerdy weirdo kid.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He's got a weird.
We were talking about in the scene spotlight.
Yeah, he's a little pale kid with spiky hair, and he's got a real weird nervous energy to him, and he's just kind of like a firecracker that's waiting to go off at any random given moment. And I really appreciated that energy.
He looks like the comic book. He looks like the comic book drawing of Tintin. You know, that's what he reminds me of. What he looks like. He's like pale, ginger, super nerdy, but he's great.
It's like
this.
if the bully from A Christmas Story, the weird ginger kid, it's like a nice version of that guy. And I appreciated it. And the funny thing too is that I was like, oh, that guy that played that was a really interesting, unique role, and it pulled my eyes to him whenever he was on screen. And I looked him up afterwards, and of course, the actor that played him is nothing like that. He's a very standard looking, very, very preppy looking guy.
Wait. So you're saying the actor was acting?
But a lot of times with these movies, when you get somebody like that in a role, like look at Mike Shank in the last movie, you know what I'm saying? That's a documentary, but either way, you get these characters that get typecast into something. Like Jason Mewes hardly ever plays something other than, smoochy boochies. So for this character, I figured that's why I was like, this guy is probably just like this all the time. I wanted to see him in an interview talking to interviewers like the way that he was talking in the movie. And when I saw an interview, I was like, oh, that was just really good acting.
One of my goods is the emo Usher's take on the nuclear war. I felt that in my soul. Just get it over with already. Can it just be done? Can we just be done?
The emo Usher was fun in his own way, but there was this weird thing about dude, you are in your 40s and you're the Usher at the movie.
But that happens.
Yeah, well.
It's so realistic that you have this person who's whole life is.
And guess what?
Yes.
In the 80s, he was probably supporting himself on that movie theater usher job.
And, he was also probably selling weed out back, but
it's the weird disconnect of having this man, this very clearly a man approaching middle age, if not already there, obviously done up in very emo, like Flock of Seagulls haircut and stuff like that for the time. And he is so concerned about who gets in and out of those movies and their understanding of culture and stuff like that. And it's just like, again, like we pointed out, nowadays,
that little bit of power, man.
First off, the person that's doing the ushering, there probably isn't even an usher. There's just somebody behind the counter that's watching the usher desk, and they don't give a fuck if you know anything about the movie or if you paid for your ticket.
So
whatever, just go ahead.
As a kindred spirit to movie lovers such as Kevin Smith, as we have talked about, I felt it in my soul when they're having the conversation and somebody says Jaws 1 and he's like, it's just Jaws. It's not Jaws 1. I have said those words about people saying Ghostbusters 1 or whatever. It's like, no, that's incorrect. The brain won't let it go. It's like, it's not 1. It's just, that's what it is. It's the original. Everything else is a sequel.
And as a Star Wars fan, it's even more confusing because before the prequels came out, people would say Star Wars, Star Wars 1. And I'm like, that doesn't exist. Yeah, it does. It came out in 1970 something. I'm like, no, that's just, is it Star Wars or Star Wars 4? A New Hope. It's not Star Wars 1. None of that is right.
Yeah, exactly.
In the 80s, there was a movie that was a classic for almost every nerd that I knew that we had memorized large portions of it. The movie was Excalibur, and it was the story of Merlin and Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table and all that stuff. And in that movie, there is a magical spell that Merlin speaks over and over again. The Charm of Making, I believe, is what it is. And all my friends and I, we had it memorized. And in this movie, they have the character that actually does the quote, the Anal Nathrak Usfos Bethud Dokiel Dienve.
Anal Nathrak Usfos Bethud Dokiel Dienve.
And he just keeps saying that over and over again. And the person in the movie, the 4:30 movie, knew the quote and they said it just right. And I was like, you have seen Excalibur, and I felt very seen in that moment because nerds that I knew in the 80s, I could have seen a friend from across the cafeteria and I could have said, Anal Nathrak, and they would have said, because we were nerds. That's why we didn't get any girlfriends.
Apparently I was not a nerd in the 80s. Interesting.
Just a different,
I wonder when my nerd
you were a different version of nerd. Yeah, like I never really got into Labyrinth and you did. So like, yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Blasphemy.
Hey, I grew to love David Bowie and Jennifer Connelly from other paths, so we all get to roam, just taking different roads.
You got any more good, Jamie?
Melody's takedown of the manager, like, epic. Because that's exactly what I was thinking the whole time. Like, dude, you're just a manager of a theater. You're nothing big. Why are you acting like you're God's gift to the world?
My car.
She just laid it all out.
His ugly fucking car. Jesus Christ. So the manager, the owner, whatever of this theater is played by Kevin Jung. Is that how you say his last name?
Ken Jung.
Yeah,
Ken Jung.
He drives this vehicle that looks like an old LeBaron or something like that. And it's got like, I don't know, like saw blades sawed into, or it's supposed to look like, is that supposed to look like film reel or something like that? Sticking out of his car?
Yeah.
But it looks like little metal fins on both sides.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like a bunch of like little movie like Easter eggs, if you will, on the car.
Yeah, it looks like a metal shop stoner in the 80s tried to make the Batmobile. It's a piece of shit, but for some reason, the owner / manager of the theater thinks that this is the coolest thing in the world, and it's a running joke that this car is horrendous. It's just so ugly.
And because he takes his movie theater manager, it's like his entire personality.
Like the fact that he has to order popcorn from other places is a huge insult to him because they reuse their popcorn at Cinema West or whatever, and yeah. And nobody gives a shit. They're all there just to flirt with women and
Here, I'm throwing a picture of the car in the chat so we can all laugh at it.
Why are you making this more complicated for me?
Just because it is. It's like the Batmobile with film reels sticking up all over it.
All right, well, hold on. Stupid. I gotta go boot up another computer up here. Okay. To look at this one image, it better be fucking good.
Look at it through your phone while you're talking.
That'll throw off the recording. No,
the hubcaps are fucking film reels. It's so stupid. It's like even
that's what I'm saying. It looks like a Batmobile. It's like a Batmobile-esque car.
It's poorly assembled. It's great. It's good that he's so into that.
It's so ugly. And that's it. That's all the goods I got.
Getting into the Bucklick finally, that sequence, like where they actually finally get into the movie, sit down and watch it, and then can't watch it anyways. Like that was a really good sequence in the movie.
It's like what the whole movie's building up to, and then they get kicked out of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it also highlights the fact that the movie was not really that was the MacGuffin.
That's the point of the movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's the MacGuffin that the movie itself realizes, and it makes it very clear that the MacGuffin doesn't matter. It's the journey that's the important part.
Aww. So it's time to talk about our scene spotlight. So Kelly, why don't you go ahead and roll that reel? Our scene spotlight is the note I have written down. It says "Sex Poo." This to me is the funniest part of the movie, and it's what made me. It's honestly what made me choose this, because I watched this with my friends, and it's so bizarre and so strange and so like teenage boy coded that it's hilarious to me. So
80s
teenage
boy coded.
Yeah, 80s teenage
Nowadays
boy
you wouldn't need this anymore.
Exactly.
That's what kids don't realize. Like, go ahead, tell them what happened. Happened.
Belly is in the bathroom, the character that we all love as pretty much the comic relief of the movie. And he's already been kicked out of the theater once at this point, and they have snuck him back in. And so he is in the bath. Well, what he got kicked out for is a kid. Somebody lied and said... a kid lied and was like, he showed me his penis, and that's why he gets ejected from the movie theater for being
you pervert.
Yeah, exactly. So
the whole theater yelling at him.
So the friends sneak him back in, and between movies, he's in the bathroom and he's sitting there. Yeah,
eating bacon.
Eating bacon in a stall, sitting on a fucking toilet
with his pants down, like
which is disgusting.
He's literally taking a shit and eating bacon. Then he happens to look at the stall wall, and we know what kind of things are drawn on stalls, but this one had a crude drawing of like a woman's butt with a piece of poo coming out and like a penis approaching it, and it just said "Sex Poo" written underneath it. And he looks at it, and he's puzzled for a second, and then he like straightens up and he starts like. He's like starts to masturbate to it. Like that is what
bow chicka bow wow.
Without access to porn, seeing this was enough to trigger that response.
It was
in him.
Such a crude, basic drawing. Like the nipples on the woman were just black dashes with Sharpie. You know, it's not a detailed drawing, but you know what? For a preteen or a teenager in the 80s, seeing a drawing of a naked woman, like we were jerking off to Sears catalogs. We were jerking off to medical journals. Like you don't understand
National Geographic,
teenagers. Yes, National Geographic. Anything you could find that had even the slightest hint. Where do you think side boob came from? Side boob was a big deal to us in the 80s. So back before porn was a thing.
The ankles of the 80s.
So I have to
exactly.
I had already been exposed to Sex Poo and was prepared. I have to gauge your reactions. What crossed your mind when this unfolded on screen? Because it's like I said, it's so bizarre that I cannot help but crack up at it. What did this do to you guys mentally?
I want to hear Jamie first. as a woman, how did that make you feel?
There are no words. There are no words. I was just like, what the fuck? And then Teenage boys, son of a bitch.
Yeah, as a teenage boy, I felt
that was
seen.
pretty much it.
I felt like I was like, yeah, there was a teenage boy that wrote this because somebody in the 80s that was a teenager knows that like it's kind of embarrassing, but oh my god, that's boobies. They're crudely drawn by somebody that has never seen an actual breast in real life, it seems like, but it's a boobie. Yeah, and you know what? He just was handling the bacon, so the bacon grease is right there. You know, I mean, his crotch is gonna smell like his crotch is gonna smell like pork for a little while. But
he is pulling the trifecta. It's kind of like winning. What is it? An EGOT, the Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. He's eating and shitting and masturbating all in the same like
eating and shitting and farting and jerking off all at the same time.
It's like the most base human things that you can take care of all
when
at
he
once.
has an orgasm, he also
sex.
Dude's gonna be like in his 40s at the therapist, and the therapist is gonna be like, so let's talk about your sexual issues. He's gonna be like,
well, it all started.
I don't know why I get hard every time I smell bacon and shit.
It all started with sex. So we can stop talking about sex poo now, but that was I just wanted to call
Thank God.
To it. Now, appropriately, it's time to talk about the bad.
I'm going to start with the beginning of this movie did not pull me in. Like, you talked about it and loved it. I was so bored with the phone call.
Oh, well, you weren't ever a teenage boy.
I feel like in general, the whole movie is just not geared towards women. And I like Kevin Smith stuff generally, so.
Yeah, I mean, I could feel that. Yeah.
It made me ponder if my like of Kevin Smith stuff in my 20s was more of a pick-me thing, or if I actually genuinely liked his stuff.
Yeah, well, I remember when Kevin Smith was really big after, I don't know, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, all that stuff. And then he came out with this movie that was about a clown that went to birthday parties and it was really like R-rated, kind of sadistic.
Well, he just produced that. He didn't direct that.
But I remember jumping on board because his name was all over it, and he was out there telling everybody all about it. And I was like, oh, I'm going to go watch another Kevin Smith movie. And I watched that, and I was like, oh, okay, so I don't like everything that Kevin Smith makes. I like some things that Kevin Smith makes. And this movie definitely... I'm glad that you acknowledge right away that it's a bit of a vanity project because it does feel a bit self-indulgent in that way. Like there are some scenes where it lingers on things where I'm sure to him and the woman that he's talking about, that's a very touching scene for them to watch on the silver screen. But for the rest of us in the theater, we're going, okay, and can we? Yeah. Did you marry her? No. Then why do we don't have to linger on that too much. We can get back to the funny bits. It felt self-indulgent in a few spots where it didn't need to be, but whatever. He's making it for himself. So
that's my main bad is not the self-indulgence, which is apparent, but it's that there wasn't as much funny as I want from a Kevin Smith movie. Part of it trying to have its foot in drama, romance, and comedy is like the comedy suffered. Like you could point to Chasing Amy, and that's still Kevin Smith in his style, and there's humorous moments, but that's like full in on the drama aspect of things, and it's good because of it.
Yeah, I'm glad you bring up Chasing Amy because it feels like he was trying to recapture that energy, but like a childish, a more innocent version of Chasing Amy.
It felt to me like he was trying to mash Clerks and Chasing Amy, and that just doesn't work. That's two separate things.
Because Chasing Amy, and those that haven't seen it, Chasing Amy, wonderful movie. Probably a lot of people would think that it's Kevin Smith's best movie, and it's like this movie in the sense that it has comedic bits and it also has a very heartfelt story, but the heartfelt story is like, I don't know, 70%. That is the reason why you're here. Right. The comedy just breaks up the heat and the real meat of the argument. If you're going to tell me a drama story, sell it to me as a drama. Don't sell it as a comedy, because it felt like a comedy that didn't have enough jokes in it.
Exactly. And I think we all mention Mel Brooks from time to time, like throw everything at the wall and see what sticks.
Yep.
There's a little bit of that in this, because I feel like they were trying and some of the stuff just didn't land, like the movie they were watching at first that was supposed to be like what is it It's one of those space opera things that Queen did the soundtrack for.
Flash Gordon.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like Flash Gordon, and it's trying to be funny, but it just wasn't to me. Like those scenes were just kind of like there, and
those super camp, super tongue-in-cheek, like ha ha ha, look at how cheesy sci-fi was back in the day. Those scenes are fine, but you have to cut them down, so that's like 3 seconds. I don't need more than 3 seconds for you to convey that emotion to me. Anything beyond that, if we're staying in this campy Flash Gordon scene for 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds,
right,
I am bored out of my fucking mind halfway through.
Yep.
I have a note here in the bad, ass blaster.
What the hell are you doing with your notes, Cal?
No, that's a thing,
and it's in big letters too. Like I should remember this.
That's in reference to the movie that is the movie. It's called Master Blaster or something like that, and someone refers to it as Ass Blaster, I think. So maybe that was your take on
that's probably my saying the same note that you just gave. That oh my God, this was bad. Like that whole Flash Gordon thing was just and put it this way. I don't mind when movies make fun of Star Trek, like when we watch Trekkies. I don't mind if we poke fun at Star Trek. Hell, Galaxy Quest is one of my favorite Star Trek movies of all time. So I don't mind if this is a campy making fun of it. It just was really hokey and not well done. And you can tell even with the post-credit footage where it's like the behind the scenes stuff that the crew and the cast were having a lot of fun with the Flash Gordon flashbacks. That's why they made it into the movie, because the crew, the people that were making the movie had a good time making that. And a lot of times people that are making movies don't understand that what you had fun making, we don't enjoy watching. It was a fun experience. It's not a fun piece of art.
Right.
Right. You could have left it in the post-credit scene where you're going through all the stuff, and we would have laughed at it with you.
Yeah, how much
because then it would be fun.
And how much of your budget and effort went into this little fucking rinky-dink thing that really you could have lifted it right out. The whole movie could have been made without that at all, and it wouldn't have impacted the story maybe 0.1%.
I mean, that's my only bad, but it's the big one. It's the one that drags the movie down for me and keeps it from being a good thing.
I have Bernie sucks, too, because, like, he sucks. I hated that kid.
His macho friend.
Yes.
He's in the ugly for me.
Yeah,
he's in the ugly for me.
I didn't actually put anything in ugly, honestly, but yeah, I can see that.
I have one more bad, and this is because it's not, I don't know if it was intentional or not, but the version that we were watching, there were a lot of weird cuts. There were moments where the screen, like we would pause on a character's face, a little bit of a crescendo of music or something like that, and it would fade to black. And then it would fade back up later, like this was a TV commercial break, is what it felt like.
I think that was because we were watching it on Tubi with your ad blocker.
I think so too.
Yeah, because that's why I wasn't sure if it was because of the way we were watching it, because it felt like there were these cuts, but it felt intentional too in the movie. Like the movie paused so that we could do this TV break, and then came back with the next scene as if we were coming back from commercial. And I'm like, was that it? I don't know. So if that was unintentional and that was just due to the service that we were using to watch it, then I rescind my bad, and I will issue a letter of apology to Mr. Smith at a later date.
Okay, because I'm fairly certain that's what that was to be.
Yeah, that's how I took that.
That's why I didn't end up in my ugly, because it felt really disjointed, but I wasn't sure if it was due to the service. So
I have one more bad, and again, this is where I feel like it just didn't connect with me. This movie is not really. The audience for this movie is not really intended to be women, and
so it's like
just
Conan.
Endless sex jokes. Endless sex jokes.
I mean, teenage boys, that's kind of just comes with the territory. So.
That's what I say. But like, I was just like, okay, the first few are funny, and then it's just like, oh my God. I felt like I was in a room with a bunch of teenage boys, and I just wanted to smack them all.
Yep.
Fair enough. All right. Well, if that's the end of our bad, let's go ahead and talk about the ugly. So I didn't really write down an ugly, but I can be easily convinced to agree with an ugly, especially that character. That was the one that would have probably made it, just because the reason that it didn't is because he's a representation of like macho machismo bullshit, but it actually, instead of lampshading, he gets called out and like right? You know, he talks to the wrestler guy, and the wrestler guy's, oh no, I have insecurities and stuff. So they address that, and they don't make it like this is a good thing for a person to be. So that's the only reason that I actually didn't end up writing him in my ugly column, but I can be convinced. So
yeah, I'm with you that like adding him as a foil for the machismo, toxic masculinity bullshit. I'm glad that message was in there. That's the difference between lampshading and actually like they call it out. So good job from Kevin Smith's point of view. Good job adding this character and addressing it and making sure that he is seen as the bad guy. The problem that I have, and it's with this movie and so many other movies, is that in order for us to have a bad person in this story, we have to accept that all of these normal, very pretty, kind kids are going to be friends with this absolute fucking dickhead that mocks them and abuses them and tries to exploit people left and right. Mm-hmm. And we're just going to assume that in every random friend group, you're going to have two guys that are pretty decent guys and one person that is an evil fucking raging douchebag. And I'm like, no, that was not the case, at least not in my group of friends. If we had one friend that was acting like a douchebag like this, he wouldn't be friends with us very long. We would be calling him out or making fun of him. Or you have the other friend groups that everybody acts like this. You don't have these mixed friend groups. I hate this trend that I see in movies over and over again where you have that one horrible friend. Whatever it is, name a show that you're thinking of, they probably have one person that they're friends with that is just a raging asshole to everybody. And I'm like, I hate that.
That does feel accurate to my experience, but it was what always happened with that was for a brief period of time, which is, you know, think about Stand By Me. It's like a snapshot of, okay, these four friends are together this summer. That would be, you know, one of them is the raging asshole. And then that friend group splinters and close friends stay together and maybe one or two of them are still friends with the asshole. That's kind of how that happened probably 3 or 4 times in my coming of age experience. So I do understand that.
It just seemed like even right off the bat when we first meet Bernie, he's just an asshole to everybody.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I thought that, this is the town bully. This is their school bully, and he's going to be the villain of this story. And then our main characters just hang out with him and talk to him as if he's a nice, normal person. And I was like, whoa, what are you doing? Why? He's your friend?
He fucking fist fights him though. You know what I mean? Like it's not like there's no consequence to that. It's clearly supposed to be an asshole.
Talk to the people or whatever, but you don't have to surround yourself with people that are assholes and just because, well, they're nice to me. Well, it doesn't fucking matter if they're assholes. Get rid of them. Mm-hmm. The other half of my ugly page, I only have 2 main uglies. One is Bernie, the horrible friend, and the other is jerking off to graffiti drawing of a woman pooping. So we already covered that. But the idea of I'm jerking off to graffiti. I'm jerking off to a graffiti drawing of a woman pooping is what I mean. I don't know. You could interpret that image, that very crudely drawn image, a lot of ways. But my mind was a woman bending over and pooping. And what about that? Yeah. 10 years from now, you know which forums he's on the internet.
Well, that's the duality of man. That was in your ugly column, and it's my scene spotlight. So.
Ass blaster.
It was fully in my bad.
Belzy later on in life, when we catch up with him, his forum name is Ass Blaster 2006. Oh, I'm sorry, Ass Blaster 69. That makes more sense.
Or Ass Blaster Sex Poo. You combine the two.
And my last note that it's just like an asterisk here on the ugly is I'm not sure if Kevin Smith's involvement in this movie helped or hurt my appreciation or lack thereof. Like, for example, if you had me watch this movie and you didn't tell me Kevin Smith was involved, would I have enjoyed it more? I might have. I think
it's possible.
Me thinking that Kevin Smith was involved with this, I had expectations that came with that because I like Kevin Smith generally as a person. He seems like the kind of guy I'd love to smoke a joint with him and have a cup of coffee and talk about comic books or whatever. But I don't know, if I came to this completely blind, I might have enjoyed it a little bit more because I wouldn't have expected Kevin Smith antics. And I get the Kevin Smith that I wanted as often as I wanted out of this.
Yeah, you didn't get the full raw Kevin Smith force here. It was like almost like a truncated, held back Kevin Smith.
It was a halfway Mallrats. It was a halfway Chasing Amy. It was a halfway Clerks. And I would have liked if we just picked all the way. Any one of these would have been fine. If this was a real heartfelt teenage coming of age story, I would have fucking loved it. Because those bits where it started to lead into it, I felt myself pulling into it. If it was comedic, those funny bits, I felt myself pulling into it, but it just kept pulling me in a couple different directions that it didn't feel like it knew what it wanted to be either. Man, this feels like a common complaint that we have. I don't know. Maybe the problem is us, guys.
Or the movie.
Maybe it's just the way the movies are anymore. Like, they are very multi-genre-y.
Hey, we didn't have this problem with Past Lives. That movie picked a lane, stuck to it, and did it really fucking well.
Exactly.
And does that affect our opinion too? Coming from Past Lives and watching this, isn't that's quite a, because we just came from something that made us question our own romantic past, and then now we're watching this, and it's just like, yuck, sex poop.
Yeah.
All right, so those are our thoughts about the good, the bad, and the ugly about 430 movie. I keep wanting to call it American 430 movie. No, Mark had nothing to do with this. This wasn't that bad. It wasn't. I swear to God, listener, this is not as bad as Mark's stuff. So yeah, we've talked about the good.
You don't know yet. You haven't watched Mark's stuff yet.
I will eat my fucking hat. Anyways, so we've talked about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now it's time to talk about the 3+1 questions, which some people would consider 4 questions, but I like to consider it 3+1 questions. So the first of the 3 questions is number 1, which would be, if we were to replace every human actor in this movie with Muppets except for one, who would the human be?
I think Ken Jeong stays the human.
Yep, that's I would.
Oh, that is a great answer. That is bravo. Yes, I think that's wonderful.
It's the villain, the Muppet. He's kind of the villain of the movie, right? And so the villain is always a human in the Muppet movies, so that makes the most sense to me.
You could maybe do the teenage girl, like the object of affection in this movie. That might be entertaining in its own way because she's just a human watching all these Muppets go wild for 2 hours.
But then what part does Miss Piggy play? You cannot cut Miss Piggy.
There are other
out
women
of the
in
movie.
this. Miss Piggy could be one of the nuns that is a prostitute that's kicking the shit out of her.
yeah, that'd be great for her.
Miss Piggy as Sister Sugar Rolls.
Yeah. So just to run down real quick, Kermit is obviously Brian. Belly is Gonzo, of course. Who plays the shitty guy? Which Muppet is the asshole? It's like the eagle. Is it Sam the Eagle?
It's got to be Sam the Eagle.
No. It's the Schwarmy lounge singer.
I was going to say the lounge singer would be the mafia lounge singer guy would be next on the list. I mean, if you want to ham it up, you make him Gonzo or Fozzie, and you just then you take the teeth out of the character and you make him just kind of more stupid.
No one can be Belly except for Gonzo. That feels right to me. That's who.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Fozzie or Rolf. Somebody like that kind of like makes him a little bit more cuddly, so it takes the angry edge off of him. And you could probably keep the same words like "What the fuck, man" and shit like that, and it would still be, it wouldn't be as harsh because it's coming from Fozzie Bear,
Yeah.
Right.
So question number 2 is, what would the promotional popcorn bucket for this movie look like?
Oh, I have this one down pat.
Sex Poo?
So it's a bathroom stall, right?
Oh,
okay. You pour the popcorn in, and it looks like a bathroom stall. And the side has a panel that opens. That's like the front of the stall, and on the inside is the Sex Poo drawing.
And censored with censor block over the Sharpie marks for nipples.
I go a completely different route, and I just go with a really retro 1980s movie popcorn bucket.
I mean, that also works too, with like the font and everything that's of the time.
Yeah.
This is one of those movies where you could even get away with the classic vertical stripe red and white,
Exactly, yeah.
And just put American movie, 430 movie on the side.
You really seem to like American movie a lot.
Yeah, you keep talking about it and bringing it up. I think it's on your mind.
We've had almost 100 review episodes, and how many of those have been about an American movie? A lot of them.
That's true.
The last of the 3 questions is, what is your MVP, your most valuable part? Could be a person, could be an actor, could be something as esoteric as the color red in a scene. But what is your favorite part? Jamie.
I'm going with my choice because I'm pretty sure the two of you are going to pick my other choice. So I'm going with the emo Usher because one, emo chick / goth chick, and I love men in eyeliner. And two, his whole spiel about the nuclear bomb, nuclear war, just it resonated for me currently. Like, just let it happen already.
Yeah, I poke fun at him, but he was definitely entertaining. He was an important part of this movie that you could lift him out, but please don't. He's
right.
Cool.
I am going to take the high road and say that so that none of you have to, that the Sex Poo drawing itself is my...
Oh, good God.
Don't worry, I was not in any danger of selecting the Sex Poo drawing as my most valuable
I know.
part.
I have spared you from that. It's okay.
Specifically, the Sharpie marks for nipples. That was going to be mine, but you already took it, so...
But it's such a bad and nondescript.
Like, we could probably put it on Facebook and not have to censor it. It's that bad. It's that.
yeah. I mean, it just cracked me the fuck up. So that's my.
If you want to see it, either look it up or we will post it on Discord after this movie, after this episode goes live.
Yeah.
My MVP would be Ted Mosby with Mullet. And even though I poke fun at him, the dude looks just like Ted Mosby. And I don't have access to my normal stuff, so somebody else can look up the actor's name.
Reed Northrup,
actor.
the guy who played Belly. That's who you're talking about, the ginger guy.
No, the guy that played the main character.
Okay. What's his name?
Ted Mosby with a mullet. That actor, he did a great job of making it feel very heartfelt. He was in a really odd position where you can tell that it is a 20-something-year-old man playing a teenager, and he did a very good job of capturing that innocence while still being like the harebrained protagonist that's making a bunch of shitty decisions, but we still kind of root for him because he has that real likable quality to him. I just remember thinking that I would like to see him in something that is it's got a little bit more meat on it. It felt like those heartfelt scenes, he was really starting to come through, and I never got to see the extent of how deep that character went. The actor that played Ted Mosby.
Austin Zager.
Yeah, and he his name in the movie is Brian David, which is, that's a play on Kevin Smith, like two first names.
Yeah. My grandmother used to tell me never trust somebody with more than one first name. She also said don't trust a man that wears too much jewelry. I don't know what her thoughts are on Mr. T, though.
Well, that's only one first name, so you're probably good.
But he had a lot of jewelry. All right, so those were our thoughts on the Kevin Smith self-biopic 430 movie, an American-made 430 movie. So those are the three questions. None of those questions really matter because the only question that really matters is when it comes to 430 movie, did you like it and would you give it a thumbs up?
You really want to do this? Here. Now? Yes. Okay, let's do it!
I mean, I did. I'd seen it before and liked it enough to pick it and watch it with you guys. I don't know that I would watch it again on my own, except for maybe looking up a couple of certain parts. If
Sex
there was, Sex Poo, I would watch again. if
just print out the copy and take it with you to the bathroom, man. It's fine.
If there was,
don't forget your bacon.
If I had a friend who I knew was into Kevin Smith movies and hadn't seen it, I'd be like, oh, hey, let's watch this. So it gets one of my weaker thumbs up, but it doesn't get a thumbs down. So that's me. What about you, Kelly?
Yeah, I'll give it a tentative thumbs up. It was fun. I don't know.
It's not like offensively bad or anything.
Yeah,
it's just
not
kind of
bad.
there.
It's just not. It's not my favorite movie. But it was okay. There were some parts that were worth watching. So I guess you could say it's either the most lukewarm thumbs up or the most enthusiastic thumbs down. It's thumb in the middle. Do what you want.
Yep.
Jamie?
Well, it's one of those times where I get to make sure that we're not giving a perfect rating to something because this is a thumbs down for me. Definitely not something that I would recommend to anybody. It just, I was bored through most of it. It got real old really quick with the sex jokes, and I thought it took way too long to get to the main point of the movie, so.
super fair. I didn't think this would be a sweep, so that's for the best. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's understandable.
Mm-hmm.
It's
so you chose it knowing that you were probably going to torture me with it again. Noted, Keith. Noted.
Yeah. Honestly, I literally just wanted to laugh at Sex Poo with you guys. So.
Why do you do this?
So those were our thoughts on 4:30 movie. I am glad that we did not give it a perfect rating as well, because I don't think it deserved that. So if you like Kevin Smith and you want to see a cute coming of age story, it's worth a try. If not, then you probably got a lot of the best bits just from listening to our wonderful pod. So next up, we have Jamie's pick, and we're in the time capsule right now due to some technical difficulties. We already watched it, but Jamie, let's pretend like we haven't seen your movie yet. What are we gonna watch next time?
We are watching The Bride! !
Bride. You can't just say it. The Bride.
Yeah, The Bride. It is based on the story of Frankenstein's Bride, written and directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal. Christian Bale is in it. Annette Bening is in it. There's some great names in it. Super new, super current. And, that's what I picked.
And listeners, of course, keep in mind that we are going to be, like I said, my computer died, so we are, and I do most of the editing for most of our episodes, so we're going to be trying to make do with what we have.
You may not hear this one.
Yeah, if there's a little hiccup, or if things sound a little different than they usually do, just have patience with us while I get my primary computer up and running that has all the normal sound effects and all my fancy stuff in it. So, but in the meantime, for Screen Share and Chill, I'm Kelly.
I'm Keith.
And I'm Jamie.
Don't eat bacon while you shit. That's not good.
Bacon grease, there are better uses for it. Let's just put it that way. I grew up in a southern household. We like bacon grease, but not like that.
You might be able to entice some people to do some things with the bacon grease.
Well, no one's going to top that.
I'm going to call the police. You go ahead, call them! Call anybody you want. They can't do anything to me. Not anymore. And nor can any of you.